This is part two. Part two's very good. You got to stay tuned for this one. And now Trump is all excited. So let's start this and play it out a little further so you can really understand the magnitude of how dumb our politicians are when they use their egos and want to take control of countries. And they never paid attention to what Venezuela and all those other countries were doing, uniting together to break away from U.S. hegemony. Here we go, folks.
Never going to get to see what I saw last night. It was amazing. These guys were moving so fast. He was watching it in real time from Mar-a-Lago like it was a reality TV show, which in his mind it was. But here's where the spectacle ends and the consequences begin. Trump and Marco Rubio were asked repeatedly at the press conference, who's going to run Venezuela now? How long will American forces be there? What's the plan for governance? And they had no answer. Trump did say that American oil companies will go in and help Venezuela rebuild its energy sector. He was very explicit about this. He said it's pathetic how much they've been producing given their reserves, and American companies will fix that. He said the oil would go to other countries and to the United States as reimbursement for damages. Rubio walked it back the next day, said the US doesn't need Venezuelan oil, said this is about governance, not resources. But the contradiction tells you everything. Trump says what the operation is about. Rubio manages the diplomatic fallout. Venezuela is not Panama. This is not 1989 when George H.W. Bush sent forces in to remove General Noriega. Panama had 3 million people. Venezuela has 30 million. Panama had a massive American military base in the strategically vital Panama Canal. Venezuela has neither. More importantly, Maduro was not a personalist dictator. This wasn't like removing Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi, where the entire state structure revolved around one individual. Maduro rose within a system, the Chavista system, a network of generals, intelligence chiefs, judiciary officials, and paramilitary groups called colectivos that control everything from ports to food distribution. The defense minister is still in place. The interior minister, Diosdado Cabello, one of the most powerful figures in the regime, is still there. The vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, is still there. All of these people control pieces of the economy. Venezuela has multiples more generals compared to the average soldier than anywhere else on earth. About 20 times as many as you would expect in a normal military structure. Every general has a monopoly somewhere. They control mining concessions. They control ports. They control oil distribution. The military doesn't just defend Venezuela. The military is the economy. This is where the operation, tactically brilliant as it was, becomes strategically catastrophic because the rest of the world is watching. Every country in the global south, from Nigeria to Brazil to Indonesia, is looking at Venezuela and thinking the same thing. If we refuse to sell our resources in dollars, will they come for us next? This fear does not create loyalty, it creates an exodus. At the BRICS summit in Kazan, Russia, in October 2024, Vladimir Putin announced the development of BRICS Pay, a blockchain-based cross-border payment system that completely bypasses the US dollar. Brazil is already piloting it for agricultural trade. South Africa processed its first diamond transaction in November. Iran and Russia are settling arms sales through it. Venezuela has just applied for formal BRICS membership. If accepted, and it will be, its 303.8 billion barrels of oil reserves will be integrated into an economic architecture completely isolated from Washington. The transition has already happened. The world simply hasn't realized it yet. China's official gold reserves increased by 225 tons in 2023 alone. Actual purchases are probably double that, made through Hong Kong imports that aren't fully reported. Russia was completely excluded from SWIFT in 2022. Their response? Build the financial message transfer system, now processing 30% of Russian domestic payments and expanding to 159 financial institutions in 20 countries. China launched CIPS in 2015. As of early 2025, it connects 1,423 financial institutions in 109 countries. It processes $436 billion in daily transactions, completely outside dollar-based clearing systems. The BRICS expansion in 2023 added Saudi Arabia, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and Ethiopia. That's 45% of the world's population, 36% of global GDP in purchasing power parity terms, and control of 72% of the planet's proven oil reserves. By attacking Venezuela to secure its oil fields, the United States has proved exactly why the world needs an alternative system. They validated every speech Putin and Xi Jinping have ever made
Checkmate.
about American unilateralism and aggression. Before this operation, countries used the dollar because it was convenient, stable, and the infrastructure was already there. After this operation, countries will dump the dollar because holding US assets now means you're vulnerable. It means your sovereignty is conditional. The petrodollar is no longer a trade agreement, it's a hostage situation. Trump thinks he's demonstrating strength. He thinks he's showing the world that America is back, that it can project power anywhere, that it doesn't need to ask permission. But what he's actually demonstrating is desperation. A truly powerful country doesn't need to invade to secure resources. It offers the best trade deals, the best technology, the most stable currency. People want to trade with you because it benefits them. When you have to use
And that's the end of that story, folks. And you see what our arrogance created. Now, unfortunately, we in America, the Americans, will suffer. Prices are going to go sky high. Our dollar is going to lose value. And we finally gotten smacked in the face financially in the world because, let's just call it what it is, folks. CIA, Mossad, Zionism, the philosophy that they wanted to run the world. And the world just pulled the plug on that old archaic system of the American might in the petrodollar. This is the Conscious Hour, folks. We connect the dots, we bring out the solution. They delivered the solution for Reboot 3.0 in the world. The world is breaking away. And let's just see what Trump has next, because is he going to get more angry and cause more wars? Well, we know one thing's coming. Israel is going to be attacking, and that will be the next phase of the demise of potentially the United States. And I don't mean it being bombed, but I mean financially, because if our dollar has no value and people are not trading in it and breaking away from it, and these wars are costing us trillions of dollars. Forget the billions, folks. We've dispatched all of our stuff, not all of it, but massive amounts. Probably the biggest escalation, I'd have to say, maybe in history, of all of the weapons we're shipping around the world preparing for this big mega war so America can be the dominant master. Good luck. This is the Conscious Hour, folks. Please share it fast, get people to watch the show. We're always talking about solutions. We don't listen to the mainstream media. We go out and find out where the problems are, bring it forward so you all can see there's might be a better way for us to go. But we've got to get control of our democracy. And right now, we have no control. Thanks for tuning into the Conscious Hour. Please share, please like, please make a donation. It costs money to keep this thing running, and I appreciate all your support.